There are many scenarios where Amazon can owe you money, and in this video we discuss these situations and the reasons why sellers might not fully recover the money owed when trying to handle reimbursements manually. That's where EVA software comes in handy, helping sellers to effectively reclaim funds from Amazon on a weekly basis. If you want to learn more about this software, check the link below in the video description.
Hello, I'm very excited to have you on OrangeClick channel today to talk about how Amazon sellers could get cost-effective reimbursements. Reimbursements is still a very hot topic for Amazon because who wouldn't like to get money back from Amazon? But as always, before we go into the discussion and the topic itself, could you first introduce yourself, what's your background in Amazon space, and also introduce how EVA is helping Amazon sellers to succeed?
Absolutely. So thank you for having me, Lizette. First of all, it's an absolute pleasure to be on the OrangeClick channel. So my name is Hai, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of EVA. And EVA is a platform as well as services for Amazon, Walmart, eBay, and many other omni-channel products. And our aim is to maximize the profits by focusing holistically on traffic, conversion, availability, and profits.
Okay, and today's topic is reimbursements, and as I said, it's kind of a topic that sellers have been talking about for years now, but I think it's still hot. It's always hot. So maybe to start off with this interview, I know EVA and your team members also participate in different Amazon seller conferences, and actually recently you were taking part of a conference we organized in Prague called the European Seller Conference. So Hai, can you tell us what are kind of the main challenges that sellers have, why this reimbursement topic is so important to cover and really get into details with?
Absolutely. So we are working on reimbursements now for the last 4 years, as well as before we were for a decade an Amazon seller. So it's almost like the last 10 years we are dealing with it. There is always this idea that why even there is reimbursements, like why there is an existence of a reimbursement situation, because if there is a problem, you expect Amazon to pay you, right? Like, for example, let's say you send 100 units to Amazon and Amazon receives 98 units and the 2 units are damaged or lost during the inbound shipment transaction. Now you expect Amazon to pay, because it's normal. Unfortunately, that normal process is not happening, or it only happens, let's say, 30% of the time that Amazon pays the money back, maybe apologize. That's the money back is the apology, pretty much. But 70% of the time, there are so many different type of cases that, well, unfortunately, Amazon is not paying, which means that the seller needs to be chasing the situation, where the seller needs to understand like what went wrong. I mean, it sounds really unreasonable, but it becomes the responsibility of the seller to try to identify what type of a reimbursement case can happen, and then manually open a case and claim the money back. And if they are lucky, then they will get the money back. So that's the kind of the reimbursements in a nutshell. There are a couple of areas that it happens. The number one is the inbound shipments. So as I give you the example, you send the stuff, Amazon doesn't receive it in full because it's damaged, lost, and something happens. A second area is the reimbursements are very much, the scope of it is FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon. So the second area that it happens is like Amazon has so many different warehouses, and from one warehouse to another, Amazon is distributing the stuff. That is the power of Amazon to enable 1 or 2 days delivery, right? And between these warehouses, while transferring all these products, again, some of them are damaged or lost. Another big reimbursement case. We also see some financial transactions, like canceling the shipments, and some of the things happen. Normally, Amazon should pay the money back. They don't. And maybe a last big one is the customer returns, where there are some rules about like what, like how the funds should be returned back to the customers. But most of the time, what we see is like Amazon is just refunding the customer and claiming the money back from the seller, where based on the terms and conditions, maybe this is not a case for a refund, or maybe there is a fraudulent claim of the consumer, but most of the time Amazon will pay the money and you need to claim your money back because it's not a case for reimbursement. So these are the typical areas. But I mean, if I think about this as the main categories, we see roughly around maybe 30 different types of reimbursements. By the way, as of today, we do reimbursements for more than 9,000 brand stores all around the world. And there are some specifics between US or North America, Europe, and Asia. Like there's some specific type of reimbursements. For example, one happens always in Europe because it's maybe related to value-added tax, or a specific one happens in US. I mean, over 9,000, stores that we are working on, we pretty much identified every single possibility to claim the money back. We already tried, I mean, even 1,000 different types of getting this money back. And at this moment, it's millions of dollars that we are recovering every month for the sellers. Now, if you look at how much money can be recovered, because that's always an important question that the customers ask. So it's typically between 1.5 up to 4% of the revenue that can be claimed back. Obviously, there are some, maybe one large transaction, like we have seen Amazon losing like 10 pallets of products and didn't pay the money back. Now, 10 pallets can be one single transaction, which is already $50,000 that you claim the money and get it back. And we have seen that. But ideally, I mean, out of that 9,000 different stores that we do this operation, it's between 1.5% to 4%. Even with the resellers, it's very interesting. Like there are two types of sellers, right? The private label and resellers. With the resellers and with the private labels, where the varieties are more, there is more diversity of the product portfolio, then we see even more reimbursements. Where there is only one single product, maybe the chances of having a lot of mistakes is less too. Another question that the reimbursement, that the sellers also ask, like, for how long you can claim this reimbursements. It depends on the reimbursement type, but the first thing that we do is we look at the last 18 months of data, because for the reimbursements, you can look at the last 18 months and still claim the money back. But for some specific cases, it can be 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. But primarily, it's the last 18 months is where we do the audit.
Okay, very good overview. And I guess you mentioned, obviously, there are a lot of different types, or let's say areas for which Amazon sellers can claim reimbursements for. And as you said, it really varies as well based on the marketplaces or market sellers are selling on. But I think that's not only issue. I think what causes a headache for sellers is that there's like no specific dashboard on Seller Central, which would like highlight like, you know, this and this and this, Amazon is owning you this money for that. So you really have to kind of go into the depths of your account and really understand where to look for. That's kind of the first thing, like where to even like how to identify the areas where Amazon is owning you money. And then as you say it, like the second part of it is actually trying to claim the money. So how it's usually the process is Amazon like, is it an easy process for a seller to, let's say if we take the shipments example, Amazon lost 10 units from my last shipment, how easy it actually is for me to manually go and try to claim the money back from Amazon? Like, are they eager to give me the money back or not really?
Oh yeah, these are like two different parts of the question. Number one is like how easy to claim the money back. It's actually not that difficult. The problem is there are so many cases, like we are talking about 1.5% to 4% of the overall revenue. And let's assume that there are, let's say, 10,000 orders happen, 10,000 transactions happened over the month. Then you need to look into every single one of them, try to identify the faulty transaction, and then claim the money back. So I see some sellers are doing it. When we audit, we always find a lot more reimbursements than they do. So to make it with an internal team, either you need to dedicate 1 to 3 people to work on it, or the better is like to work with a company like us, where the way that also we charge is based on success. So that is also important. And if there is no success, there is no payment. If there is success, there is payment. Now, a lot of companies, they are already doing this with many different type of vendors. I think one of the biggest differentiators that we provide is the success fee rates, because our rates at this moment are 11% of the successful transactions. We see companies charging 20, 25% over the last couple of years. But thanks to Eva, I think that a lot of even competitors are charging less and less. And the reason, I mean, there's also always this question like, why do you charge less? Because of 2 reasons. One, our success rates today are between 97 to 98%, which is pretty high. So we kind of figure out like how to get the reimbursements back. When the customers do it alone, their success rates are typically 80%. So that is a big difference. The second is the full automation. And I would like to share my screen a bit, because it's not only about doing this manually, like the whole case management needs to be done manually, but with Eva dashboards, like which shows the last 18 months of all the recoveries that are done on the account, it is very clear, like, for example, like what Amazon paid, which is in orange, what Eva claimed, which is in blue, and what you see in purple is what the company did on its own. So when we work with the customers, they can still continue to do, for example, there is a big transaction and it's obvious, it's, I don't know, $10,000 is needs to be claimed back. We can do it, but some of our customers, the sellers, they want to do it first. And we are okay with that too, right? Because we always do, it's kind of a second harvest. We make sure that every single transaction is done, is audited and claimed back. Now you can also see from our dashboards like what is lost, or what is the category. Is it a lost warehouse? You see a lot of lost warehouse cases, for example, in this one. You can also see that there is like lost warehouse cases. These are kind of the main categories. Now, one of the things where, again, the customers are having some challenges is Amazon is asking for documents, and the documents are not always like, you need to find out like where is that bill of lading, or some customer invoice or something like that is required. So in our system, it's also very easy to, for example, upload a proof of delivery or a proof of purchase or other files that are required to claim the money back. So normally it will be a tedious process to try to find out where to do it with Amazon Seller Central, because it's a white glove service, meaning that as soon as that proof of delivery or the purchase or anything is uploaded in the system, and then it can be easily managed. So the next step is like we claim the money back. Now, one of the things that is also important to mention here is we typically claim the money, let's say, on the date of 14th of April, and you see that like all these claims are already approved in 24 hours. Why? Because Amazon knows Eva, and as soon as like we claim it in the right way, we can get the money back in 24, maximum 48 hours, unless it's a very complex case. So that's another big advantage, because if it's a non-US customer opening a case, it may take weeks sometimes to get the money back. Also, when Amazon is asking for a document, and if you don't upload the document, as I kind of like showed here, then in 2 days, for example, Amazon will close the case. Okay, so you didn't upload the document, the case is lost. So you're kind of also able to manage that too. One interesting thing that I want to mention as well is the remeasurements, because one big case type is what is the dimensions as well as the weight of the product, and based on that, Amazon is charging FBA fees, and the FBA fees are getting more complicated every week, and even new fees are introduced on 1st of April. Now, all of these fees, unfortunately, we always see a couple of % of the time there is a mistake done with the FBA fee. Now, the seller will be happy if the mistake is done and if they are charged less. I mean, of course, it's great. But if they are charged more, which is 90% of the time, then it is important to also open up a remeasurement request. Now, by using Eva, it's also very easy, because Eva is showing like what are the dimensions on the Amazon side, and it's very easy to kind of put the right dimensions and weight, and then our team will open a case. Now, why it is interesting? Because if the claim is approved for the last 18 months, maybe, for all the orders, for all the transactions, this fee will be corrected. At one time, we got back like $150,000 from a customer just because the FBA fees are not correctly charged. So, that's kind of also another area where the software helps a lot. So our software automates the detection process, looks into every single order, analyze every single order based on 25 different categories. And after that, we are able to open these cases automatically, like create these cases automatically. Then our reimbursement team will manually open these cases and get the money back in 24 hours. So it's kind of like we make the life very easy, and only what the customers pay is 11% of the recovered amount, which is also 50% more cost effective compared to any other company or people they are doing this service.
Yeah, first of all, I think the dashboard looks great and the interface very easy to use, and the fact that you can see like everything really clearly. I think it helps also sellers to understand like what's the process behind it, and like how much money they have been able to claim from Amazon. So that's great. And also, yeah, as you said, the percentage you charge based on the success rate, it's also very great for the sellers out there. So yeah, amazing. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer if you consider choosing between having 3 in-house workers or team members working on it and not actually being specialists in that versus like having Eva support and working on it like all the time to have a reliable partner in it. But hi, can you explain like if any seller right now is interested into hiring you or partnering up with you for the reimbursement service, how is the onboarding process looking like, and do they need to prepare something in advance? How long does it take? Some main things about that.
Absolutely. So first of all, one more thing to add is we do this reimbursements weekly, and we have seen like many companies doing it like monthly or quarterly, and it doesn't work anymore on the Amazon. Like the faster you do the reimbursement, the likelihood that you get the money back is very high. And if you wait like many months, then Amazon will even be more difficult to pay the money back. So that's why having this weekly reimbursement schedule is also very important for us. And it's very transparent, like any seller can go to the dashboard and can easily see what's going on with the claims. Now, back to the question, onboarding is very easy. So our website is eva.guru, and from the eva.guru, so it is very easy to, let me again share my screen. And this is the eva.guru page. You can see our analytics dashboard. So Eva is not only the reimbursements, but also it provides the profit analytics. Like as you enter your cost information, you have all the analytics data. Here is a get started for free button. As soon as the seller from anywhere in the world, for any marketplace in the world, name it Germany to Spain to Mexico to Singapore, doesn't matter. So as soon as you click the button, it will take 1 minute to connect your store, get all the data. You will have access to the amazing dashboards of analytics and also the reimbursement dashboards. There's more than 100 dashboards available to the sellers, and there's a lot of other functionality too. Now, once the store connection is done, then there is a button where the seller can just start the reimbursements, and that's it. It will be the start of the reimbursements. Now, the next step is one of our reimbursement service managers will approach the customer, get a user name to be approved with some certain permissions to open a case. It typically takes the same day it happens. So in 24 hours, as soon as the user is ready, the data is available on Eva, the reimbursement will start, and then every week we will do the reimbursements.
Okay, so basically it's quite quick to get everything up and running, which is also amazing for the seller. So basically, if you're watching this video right now and you're interested into either the reimbursement service or other services, then you know that you can head over to Eva's website. We're gonna also have the link to your website in the video description below, so feel free to go to the website to read more. And yeah, it's great to know what you are doing to help Amazon sellers. And to kind of wrap up with today's interview, what's kind of one thing you want to emphasize or tell Amazon sellers regarding the world of reimbursements, what they should keep in mind this year, and also, yeah, in general beyond 2024?
Yeah, I mean, this is the year where getting profits from Amazon will be much more difficult compared to any year. So what I very much suggest is get the reimbursement service. If possible, don't do it internally because you're already missing maybe 50% of it. And 11% recovery fee rate is amazing. There is no reason to pay more for reimbursements. And you know, when you have the dashboard, you can monitor the success rate and what's going on in a transparent way. So always claim such a way to get everything done in a transparent way too. So, you know, kind of bringing all together, it's one of the mandatory things now that every seller should do with the lowest cost and the maximum efficiency to maximize the profit.
So this is a call absolutely for all of the sellers who are not doing anything yet regarding getting reimbursements from Amazon. So hi, thank you again for taking the time to join me today to talk about reimbursements. Hopefully we're able to get more sellers educated on this topic and making sure that they are getting back the money Amazon is owing them. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you soon on Orange Click channel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I hope this video will help you to get money back from Amazon. If you would like to use Eva's service to claim reimbursements, find the link below and a special offer in the description. But before you do that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons. And if you have additional questions, use the comment section below. And now I recommend you to watch this demo of Eva to see what other features this great software is offering to Amazon sellers.